Hello. It's Friday afternoon. Here we are at 8 stories above Chops. Sitting here on January 16th. It's Friday. TGIF. For those of you that are, still working, God bless you. It's amazing. The people that are working wish they weren't, and the people that aren't working wish they were. They just need a big swap and see what would happen. Yeah. I don't know. Let me join the conversation. Here we are. You look at the side. Old Magic Jimmy here. Up here 100 feet above Chops at the Plaza Real building, which houses several hundred families, if you will, individuals, families, and probably 300 people. Yeah. Half the units have 2 people in it, and half the people have 1 people in it. Probably. Something like that. There are some FAU students that might have 3 or 4 people in it. On the 7th floor, there was a period of time where there were a whole bunch of people that were on the tennis team or on the soccer team up there on the 7th floor on the north end of the building. They get in the elevator and whoosh, they head north. When you see them get out on the 7th floor. I'm on the 8th floor. I don't know if that's still the case, but it was. We'd been in here like 13 years. Can you believe it? Wow, 13 years. The 14th lease renewal. It's coming up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. August. Yeah. So, what's going on? This is our 2:30 mid-afternoon edition on Friday. So, what's going on? Let's see. Well, this is going on. Someone came up with a new solid-state battery. Solid electrolyte. That's the big... And who is it? Donut solid-state batteries. Has twice the energy density, which means you have twice the power, or the same power and half the weight, so to speak. So... sure Elon will get his hands on that and see what, if he can mass produce. Hold on a second. Yeah, I had to tell Alexa to pause because I was hearing Fox News in the background. Stop it already, Yeah. So that's a little, of course, most of you don't care about that, but I have an electric car, and it is powerful. You step on that accelerator, and you're faster than you were. Passengers, would you gently place your head back on the headrest? Because I'm about to go into hyperspace and accelerate rather rapidly. And then whistle. You got 4-wheel drive, things like a rocket. You just, and it's silent. In other words, when you pull up for a traffic light, you don't have the You don't have this internal combustion engine with all its heat and noise sitting in front of you. You know, I can feel my feet are hot already just thinking about it. And I can't hear myself think. How about you guys? Epidemic needs to be. Thank you very much. Turn that down just a little, just a tad. Yeah. Let me see what's going on with my. Oh yeah, that's why. See, I have a D10 setting on my soundboard. It puts it right there. That's okay the way it is right there. All right, so we have a solid-state battery. So all the engineers at Tesla are going to be, taking a look at that. Now, I've been whining and complaining about Tesla and their Kathy Wood. Never met the lady, but she has decided to sell all her Tesla stock, and we're talking millions of shares. She's $250 million, $500 million investor. Well, she's gone. She decided to hit the hills. I don't blame her. I mean, the stock is, stalled at $440 a share. Let's go to, let's add that back. Oop, we have to switch. Oh my God. Yeah, we got a little technology thing here. Yeah, I like to be just right in the middle. So we're going to go, we're going to go to stocks.com. I have an app right here. Bingo, touch it. There we go. Have to do this to it. So this is telling us, delayed broadcast, of course. This is all very legal. I don't have any copyright issues here. Yeah. So what's going on with the Dow? The Dow, at least 15 minutes ago, was at, what do you call it? Right there, yeah. 49,466. Yep. Up about 0.5%, which is like nothing. Yeah, that means everyone is packing up their desk and getting ready to go home, because who wants to talk about that, right? So, now right below it, Tesla, $440 a share, up 0.4%. Likewise, that's bupkis. That's nothing. It went up, and then it went down, and now it's back to, Kathy Wood, I think, dumped her stock, a while ago. She has to file with the Fed and all that. Not before she makes her move. She's allowed to make her move, but I think it's like within 2 weeks, either 2 weeks or 10 days, she has to file a 13D form with the SEC. You'll use the Security Exchange Commission, in case you don't know what SEC. We were a publicly filing company. I was CEO of a commercial bank for 12 years. Holding company, Phil and I, my partner. He started the company, then he hired me. And we had the exact. He had more shares than I, and so forth, and we went on and on. He said, "You know, Jimmy, you're a lot more than I bargained for. So we're going to have the same exact number of shares to the share, to exactly the share. I don't want there being one share difference." I said, "Okay. Are you sure? Why is that? What's going to..." He said, "Well, you're just better than I ever imagined, and, we should be equal partners. So we're going to be equal partners." I said, "Well, God bless you, sir." That's the kind of guy he was. I mean, holy crap, who does that, I wasn't complaining. I said, "Phil, I'm fine. I'm not complaining, right?" He says, "No, this is, I'm doing this all by myself. You haven't nudged the wheel a bit." I said, "Well, I just, I like us to be further along in what we're doing, but yeah." So that's the way it was. That's what kind of a partner he was. Yeah. He had like 60% of the stock. I had 40% of the stock. Because we started, just the two of us. So it's me, myself, and I, and Phil. There were four of us. He didn't realize he hired me, myself, and I. Yeah, well, that's, water under the dam, as they say, So we did that for 12 years. We did good. We actually made a profit in the bank for a quarter or two, Bank never made a profit. They operated for 5 or 6 years, never made one nickel. And after about 18 months, we made a nickel. I forget what the number was, but we were in the green, as they say. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. And so here we are. Tesla is... Now, the reason why I have Tesla in the crosshairs of what I'm talking about. All right, you see there's 442 open. The high was 447, you see that. And then right below that, you see, so it's open, high, low. The low is 435. The volume is 46 million shares. That capital M means million. Now here's the number that I'm not happy with, which is a number you want to be happy with. 303. The PE is the price earnings ratio. So you basically take the price of the stock, which is, 440, round numbers. You can see it right there with the graph. It says 440, yeah. Over there, yeah, there it is. You can see it right on that column right there, 440.54, 440.49. That's the pennies, the P word. Well, another P word is price earnings ratio. Now, I dare any of you to bring up a large, legitimate company that manufactures anything that has a PE ratio of over 100, much less 200 or 300. And then, look, I'm not a scallywag. I love Tesla. I think it's a magnificent, company. If you've ever, taken a guided tour through their factories, it is magical. I mean, it is clean. It is relatively quiet. They're manufacturing these huge numbers of cars. A car comes out the back door every 35 seconds. And the place is quiet. The floors are clean. There's not oil dripping and, parts and tools and all this crap laying all over. No, it is beautiful looking. And cars come out come out of there every 35 or 40 seconds. I mean, it's, you got a red one, and you got a blue one, then you got a black one, and then a white one, and then a white one, and a black, and then a black, and then a black, and a red. And I mean, they change colors as they come out the door. But, the cars keep, and they roll out all by themselves, so you could say, well, they're coming out off a conveyor belt. No, they're self-driving out of the factory. So they drive them because it's a self-driving car, right? I mean, it's all robotics. It's not only robotics that built the car, it's robotics that drives the car, accelerates the car, and then it drives itself out of the factory, and all of a sudden you look at it, it's making a right turn. It goes around the edge of the building, drives all the way up along the edge, the side of the building, and then makes a left turn to go into, parking lot D. I'm making this up. And then it goes into spot, 1,337, because that's the assigned parking spot for Jimmy's car. While it awaits a transporter, those vehicle carrier thingies, and it just sits there, goes into, it's locked and quiet, and, like it's in a parking lot, and it's waiting for a car carrier to go into the car carrier position. And then when the car carrier that is going to go from Austin, Texas to South Florida is ready, then 8 cars are called from the parking lot. And all of a sudden you got 8 cars from different spots all over, are all headed over to this one car carrier, just 8 of them. And they wait in line to get put on the car carrier because some truck driver, car carrier driver does that. That's not automated yet. So, that's crazy. So the cars are magical. I mean, we're on our second one. It's just, once you get one of these, you can't go back to anything else, other than just the hell with it. We don't need a car. We just, call up robotaxis, and Tesla's getting in that. But that company is actually migrating from retailing cars to people to building cars for its own account, to create robotaxis in, the 400 largest cities in the country. And, the factories will grind out 2 or 3 robotaxi vehicles, whatever and they'll keep refining them and making them better and whatever. And, there'll be management discussions on whether they should bother selling cars to people anymore, because people, the demand for cars is going down because there's no need to do that, because you just sit in a robotaxi and say, would you take me to the grocery store? And it takes you to the grocery store. And then when you're done, you come out with your groceries and you dial up with your application on your phone. You dial up a vehicle, a robotaxi, and it'll come wait for you. And it knows exactly where you are. And the door is open. It says, Mr. Wilson, are you ready for your ride home? You get in there with your groceries. You could put them in the back if you'd like. It'll drop you off at the wherever the heck you want. And then you go upstairs with a couple of bags of groceries. I mean, or your home or whatever the heck. So there will be a time where you really don't need to buy a car, because the robotaxis, the robotic self-driving vehicles are going to be driving us all over the place. They'll be electric. They'll plug into wherever they plug into. Now, the only reason why I would want my own car at my advanced age is that I don't want the cooties from everybody else. I don't want to slide in on that seat, where some very sick person just coughed all over the seat. And I don't know how well these things get cleaned or how often. I question whether they go back to the car cleaner after every trip. I don't know. If they did, then absolutely I'd consider it, not having a car. But I just buy our own robotaxi, and, it'll be in our own parking lot, and we'll have our own germs. Just from a bacteriological, I had a double major, microbiology, bacteriology, biology, cryptogamic botany, all that biology stuff, and chemistry, biochemistry. I was interested in all these things. I didn't know whether I wanted to be this or that, or a doctor, or a surgeon, or and actually took the MCAT test, the medical college admission test. I took the LSAT test, the law school admission test. MCAT, the LSAT. I took the GRE. What's that? That's the graduate record exam test. That's kind of like the SAT for graduate school. When you graduate college, you take the GRE, the graduate record exam, and they keep all your scores, and they decide whether you're competent or not as a graduating senior in college. And when you're graduating senior in high school, you take the SAT. And you get the combined score of, 1,000 or 1,100, 1,200, my GRE was like 1410, I think. My medical college admission test was very high. I had the fifth highest score. There were 4 people ahead of me. That makes me fifth. I'm a genius too, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count them on your hand, right? Well, I was number 5 or 6, I forget, in the top 10. And we got scholarships, this little group of us. And I forewent the scholarship, silly boy, and didn't go to medical school. But I ended up with Marilyn for 45 years. How marvelous was that? Lucky boy. Yeah. She is usually magnificent. She was a little cranky last night and gave our daughter a rash of stuff. Whoa! Marilyn, where did that come from? This sweet, lovely little thing you are, and wham! Oh, gosh. She's upset because one of her friends that she grew up with since she was a little weasel, since, 6th grade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're a pretty young little whippersnapper at 6th, 7th grade. And they knew each other since 7th grade, and now she found out that she's leaving us with cancer. And it's, down Virgil. She's not going to do the chemochemistry thing to try to extend her life, another month or 3 or 10 or whatever. It's all over, spread all over everywhere. And, all of a sudden, it's like hospice and you're dying, you're dead, Now, I'm 81 and, so far, I don't, knock on wood, that's what that banging was. I have a wooden desk here, and we have to keep knocking on the wood at my advanced age of 80. I'm over 80. I'm going to have a birthday on March 20th, the first day of spring. Well, now it's January, February, March. A couple of months, another year clicks off. They keep clicking them off. I keep walking around, Yeah. We're in a no-fall zone, but you're not allowed to fall. Yeah, we have a rule around here, no falling. We are strictly 3 seasons. Yeah, summer, winter, and spring. There is no fall. We have taken it off the calendar. We don't use that word. Yeah, that's an F word. No. Yeah, anyway, so what was I saying? Circling back to Kathy Wood. She is I guess was. She hit the sell button on, she's out. She sold her Tesla stock. I don't blame her. I actually don't blame her. I believe in everything that Elon is doing, but you know what? The stock is overpriced. It's 300% overpriced. I mean, Apple, trades at what, 35, 36, 37%, price earnings ratio. And these people make a lot of money. Apple makes a lot of money. Now they have factories, they build stuff, they sell 250 million iPhones a year. I mean, can you imagine making a product and it gets in the hands of 250 million people every year? Next year it'll be 275 million. I mean, there's 2 point something billion. That's what a boy, 2 billion iPhones floating around in people's hands. So when they do a software update and flash it out to all the phones, it's a lot. I mean, there's, you need a lot of servers to be able to punch out a software update to several billion devices. Not to mention the iPad. To me, see right here on the left side of your screen, I'm shaking it. I mean, the iPad is like a magical device. Holy mackerel. Let's look up and see if I have a UPS package coming. There we go. We log it in. We turn it up. What's recently? Do we have any recent to me? Right here. Let's just check out recents. Yeah, something's on the way. What the hell would that be? It's arrived at Hernando. Oh, it's, let's see. Where did it, oh yeah, it's something I sent. Yeah, what did I send? I sent a package. Yep, I sent a package. Look at it, Hernando, Mississippi. What the hell's going on there? Your package is in transit. It's stored in Hernando. Now it's in Memphis. Now it's back in Hernando. Yeah, crap. I have a package that's in circles. Look at that. Your package is in transit. We're updating plans to schedule your delivery. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. It's been there since January. Anyway. So they don't have a delivery date. It's on the way. Okay. Well, I'm sorry I saw that. How about to me? Anything coming to me? From me? Yeah, there's a package from me. Bob Beatty. What the heck would that be? There's a picture of the box. It's delivered. Let's see what happened there. So it's something that we shipped. It ended up at Deerfield at 7 p.m. That's about right. Went to Hialeah, and then went across to Fort Myers, out for delivery. It was a package that we sent for Christmas. And of course, they took a picture of, and it was, everybody's taking pictures with everything, just to verify they dropped it off. It sits out there until someone, they knock on the door, but they don't wait, because that'd be, think of all the packages they have. They got to add 3-minute wait time for everybody to answer the door. So they bang on the door and then they leave. You either get your package or you don't. But if you don't, you run the risk of a package stealer. Yeah, you put a sign on you somewhere and say, don't do this because we have video surveillance and we can track you down. All right, let's go to APMEX. What is that? American Precious Metal Exchange. And why do we go there? Because we can see the price of gold at $4,612 an ounce. It's down $20.80 per ounce today. And silver is down $3. Silver is trading a silver coin, a 1 ounce silver dollar is now $90. The value of the silver is 90 times the denomination of the silver itself. In other words, the metal is worth more than the $1 that's printed, that's stamped on this coin. Just like the Egyptians, they had coins. Okay, well, so that's that. Takes you about 200, I think we calculated is about 200 coins to per $1 million. Maybe 210 coins, somewhere between 200 coins and 210 coins per $1 million. So that's 200 ounces. And 200 ounces, in case you forgot, 200 divided by 16 ounces per pound, that's a 12-pound briefcase full of gold coins, which could be $1 million. $1 million in cash, it'd be a much bigger case. With all those paper bills that you could wipe your but the gold coins, there they have, at $4,600 a pop, as they say. You can go into, any jewelry, any reasonably sized, competent jeweler will pretty much count out $4,600 for you. They will pay you because gold, price of gold goes up. It just keeps going up, Inflation is here. We got a couple of, we got, between 2.5% and 3% inflation, which is not terrible inflation, but it's, every year goes up a couple of percent. The value of gold goes up even higher, faster. So any jeweler will pay you the spot gold price on gold. You walk in there with a gold coin, you're going to walk out with, $4,600. So, count them out. $4,600 bills. $4,600. $4,600. That means a $100 bill. They count out 46 of them. That's not a lot. You fold that up, put it in your pocket, and Now you got some cash, so you can go out and eat and do whatever the hell you want to do for a month. Yeah. So gold coins is not a bad place to be. I had a friend of mine, I don't know where he is, John Harlan. Where is John Harlan? He used to tell me, buy gold coins. I mean, this is like 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Buy gold coins. That's it. Buy gold bullion coins. Because inflation comes up and down, and it's the safest hedge on inflation. And inflation is what decreases, the value of the dollar. The dollar of, the value of whatever instrument we use to buy things. Like I said, you can go to any jeweler and turn your gold coin. So if you got if you got 200 gold coins, so if you have 400 gold coins, that's a retirement. $4 million. Yep. You can, each. So you give her over a gold coin every month for your rent. 400 months. Let's see how long that is. Get your calculator out, folks. Okay. Take 200. That's 16 years. So 200 coins you use for rent, and the other 200 coins you use for eating and expenses that you have. I'm talking about retired person. You got 400 gold coins in your little Funkin' Wagner, then you're set. You don't need anything else. You don't need a bond portfolio. You don't need a stock portfolio. You don't want to have all that crap when you're 80 years old, because you can't afford to lose money in a stock market situation. Things get bad and the stock market goes down. Forget that crap. You can't afford that. Because you don't have any earning capacity. You're not working, so you can't replace that money, with a job, so to speak. 'Cause you get to a certain age and they don't want you anymore, which is kind of terrible because you got all this knowledge. I mean, just think of it. I got all this banking knowledge, and I'm sitting around here on my fanny at 3:13 p.m. talking about stuff other than banking. I'm a very, very good banker. I can smell a terrible loan a long way away. I know the good loans. Yeah, I have a good instinct for good loans. I have a good sense. I have a good instinct. I can sit around with a borrower and he can show me his numbers on he wants to build this and it'll do here, but I can listen to the scenario. He gives you a package. You review the package. You send it around through your loan underwriters and appraisers and all that kind of stuff. And they all sit around the table and they decide if this is something that we should do. And 2 months ago, I decided this is something we will do. And if they cough and sneeze, I'll explain it to them. Which I do in a very nice way, professional banker and all that. I'm having fun with the conversation right now, but, I'll explain it to them. S-P-L-A-I. Oh, explain it to them. It's an interesting word, explain. My mother was a language student. And, when you grow up as a kid with a mother who was a language student, a language professional, language, whatever you call super smart people in language. She was a linguist. Spoke 5 foreign languages. So she liked French the best. So as kids, little 5-year-olds and 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, as kids, we used to sing French songs at the dinner table when everyone's sitting around the table and wondering what to do. Well, the live-in help that we had is going to bring out the tray of peas and the tray of potatoes and the tray of, whatever kind of protein was coming out. And we hardly used the word protein, back 75 years ago. Yeah, my mother would not sit around and decide, what form of protein should we have in the dish? Maybe she would use that word, but I don't remember the word protein being tossed around the table that often. And we always had some protein, if you will. Oh yeah, lamb chops. We were probably the only family within a 5-mile circle of ourselves that had lamb chops for dinner on Wednesday. Unless you were celebrating, you're out in a nice, really nice restaurant, because most restaurants would not carry lamb chops because, it's a delicacy. Meat, it's a delicate, it's like ribs. Oh, everyone goes to ribs, beef ribs and baby back ribs and all that. But lamb chops, lamb, yeah. That's a specialty. It's marvelous. I mean, it's a. Oh yeah, we're having lamb chops for dinner on Wednesday. No one had lamb chops in the refrigerator the next morning as a leftover. Nope. No, that was, so we grew, I grew up in a certain level of affluence, I would call it. Have to admit it. When you have we had a live-in maid. That's what we called Mary Grillo was her name, Mary Grillo. She was Portuguese, if I recall. She was Portuguese for certain. And we had we had a live-in. Mary Grillo lived in our house, in the maid's quarters, if you will, and we had a live-in nurse for Deborah, my younger sister. So in order to take care of little baby Deborah, my mother engaged a nurse, and she, a registered nurse, and she lived in our house along with Mary Willow. They had separate rooms. And so, when you live in a residential, planned unit development in the North Shore of Long Island, about 50 miles, west-northwest of Manhattan, if you will, about 50 miles away, which took about an hour to drive in there. God knows how much the drive time would be today on the Long Island Expressway. Now they call it the Long Island Distressway. Anyway, that was the road that was being actually built when I was growing up as a little whippersnapper. They were leveling out the land, all the property that was needed. This big slice of property that went, all the way across Long Island right into right into Manhattan. Yeah. And then when it got, up to the city, it fanned out into a whole bunch of other sub-roads and subsidiary highways and byways. This one would go that way, and this road would go this way, and you'd have an exit that would end up going south, so you'd end up, and then you had an exit that continued westerly, which would take you, bypass the city and go right over into like Pennsylvania and all that. New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Long Island Expressway was being built when I was a little kid. So right now that road is 80 years old. Yeah. It's got its 80th birthday. Okay, so what's going on today in our afternoon edition of what the hell Jimmy wants to talk about? Yeah, the old Jimmy podcast here. Let me show you something. I posted this message to Facebook today, and I'm going to post it every day that I broadcast. It's like I don't know, would you call it a warning message or just try FAU for you with YouTube is best. It's been reported that Facebook drops off frequently. It did today, as a matter of fact. I got a message about 2 or 3 minutes into the broadcast that Facebook dropped out. Now I can't figure out why Facebook keeps unlinking from this broadcast. Anyway, so I post this message. We'll send some, live simulcast across YouTube Live and Facebook. Our handle is simply FAU for you. How cool is that? I've been on the faculty at FAU for 20 years, and I grabbed that little handle before anyone knew about handles. Now everybody's in it. Well, I got that name first. And I would suggest that all my heirs, if you will, keep this stuff going. We broadcast from our compact, well-equipped, 100 square foot studio. Can you believe it? 100 square feet. Holy mackerel. Yeah, that's not much. Yeah. 8 times 12 is 96. I've actually I've exaggerated that square footage because it's more like 50 square feet. But you know what? People, they wouldn't identify with 50 square feet. 100 square feet, 10 by 10 is 100. So we got a 10 by 11, 9 by 11, 10 by 11 den. And we split it. Marilyn's on that half, I'm on this half. I got a printer, I got a cabinet over here. I've got my equipment package right here, a soundboard, my MacBook Air, which is a MacBook computer. It's got 32 gigabytes of random access memory. It's got 2 terabytes of storage. It's got a 15-inch screen. What the hell else would you want? Can you imagine 32 gigabytes of memory? So I could have a few things, logged on at the same time, and memory shouldn't be a problem. Let me feel my processors. Yep, the processor, which is an A20 processor, or something like that, A19, A20, whatever the hell that means, Apple calls it something. But I'm feeling the processor is right here. It's right up in this northwest quadrant of the computer, right underneath the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but on this, it's like silicone cemented to this part of the actual frame of the computer to dissipate the heat, because when the processor processes, it gives off a little bit of heat, the silicone does. So I've measured the temperature. I don't have a thermometer here, but I probably do somewhere. Oh, look at that, a pair of glasses. I've been looking all over for those. Yeah. It's about 95 degrees. It's 74 inside here, and it's 67 outside. I turn the temperature up a little bit. Maybe there's... Yeah, that's a little warm for here. It's usually 68 in here. It's 73.9. A lot of hot air blowing around up here. Anyway, I posted this message to Facebook and everywhere, letting everyone know that something's going to happen. I should put something in the top here that says I will be broadcasting shortly. Just say that, and then give them a suggestion to give YouTube a shot. I love YouTube. I've become a YouTubeaholic. Now, I have thousands of friends in Facebook over the years, and one or two of them will listen to this broadcast. And I've got a lot of friends over there on YouTube and, elsewhere. You're several thousand people that are in my phone book, personal address book, so one or two of them might pay attention to what I'm talking about. Anyway, I've been basically talking about me so far. Let's get on to something else. Let's see, I'm looking at these. Let's hit favorites rather than recently saved. So this is the recently saved business. Oh, I know one thing we need to talk about just briefly. Mega Millions is a Florida lottery. It's a lottery, actually, that's not exclusive to Florida. It is broadcast. My God, it seems like epidemic sound instrumental. It gets louder and louder over time here. Turn that down a little bit. I can't hear myself think. Yeah, it's not actually reverberating in the studio here. I have a direct digital line going right into my soundboard, but if the volume level is a little too high, it competes with my microphone thingy, and I've got headphones on so I can hear the mixture. This is a mixer. This is an audio mixer. I have a couple channels there. Anyway, we are now looking at. Oops, I have to shrink that up a little bit so you can see it. Yeah. So I have more pixel count in this iPad that I'm embracing here. See, I'm shaking it. Yeah. I have probably twice the pixel count than that's being represented there on the screen. Now you can do a reverse pinch, and pinch is where you squeeze it, and the reverse pinch is when you expand it. Yeah, it's not complicated. So, Friday Mega Millions, January 16th. Yes, sir. In this magical envelope, which I'm showing you right here, you can see in the window is a mega. I can't really see because it's out of focus. But I can open up this magical combination lock I have on this envelope. And what do I have in here, magically speaking? Aha! I have, okay, let's take it out. Put that down there. This is happening, there we go. Friday, January 16th. What happens? Whoa! Yeah, we don't want to do that. Good luck. It is a $230 million grand prize. If someone is lucky enough to get all 5, well, there's 6 balls. There's 5 balls, 1 through 70. There's 70 balls that are in a thing that spins around, and then the balls, one by one, as the machine drops, whatever's going to be the winning numbers for tonight. You see this is Tuesday Party. You can see Tuesday Party. So I have every Tuesday and every Friday, dating from December 3rd, when this lottery didn't roll over. It started anew. And it starts off at 50 million. So, that's, people can generally afford to win 50 million. What would that mean? That would mean there's the numbers, which no one had, all of them. So that means your lump sum on a $50 million lottery would be $22.9 million. Now, you don't get that, but you get this. After your 24% withholding, so if Uncle Sam gets 24%, what do you get? 76%. So if you take 76% of $22.9 million, what do you get? $17,404,000. So with a $50 million lottery, this is a check you would walk away with. Now, just so you know, you're going to owe another $3 million in tax. So my suggestion is you take that, you peel off $3 million of that $17 million, put it in a side account, because your net after 37% tax is $14 million. But you're actually going to walk out of there with a check for $17 million. So you subtract that number from that number, it's 3 million something in round numbers. So, and Uncle Sam is going to get real grass cranky if you don't have that money. So you better put it in the side pocket, in case you do something. Somehow or other people do stupid things with their lottery winnings. So in case you're stupid. Anyway, I have my ticket. There it is. It's all locked up in my, oh yeah, these are, there we go. Let's pack this up. Here is, you can hear it as I unfold this paper. This is basically the printed version of this. This is the paper. And it tells me, what's... so that goes in this fancy envelope with the tickets. Then we'll... there, and it tucks away so you can see it through this nice The front of this envelope is a window, and we'll just seal it back up. So it is sealed. Until the next time. Now, if we have the winning ticket, that envelope all sealed up is, they have procedures, you know, if you get a big winning. I've won $4,000 or $5,000 one year with the lottery. Yeah. And if it's over $600, you got to do special things because of the way they deal with the taxes and the withholdings and all that. See, with the small tickets, they don't do withholdings. They don't do the 24% withholding with any prize under $600. Yeah. What is going on here? I want to just, there we go. I'm going to go right here. Here's her luck. This bottom row is all in red because, you know, in 6 hours from now, 7 is 7, 3, 8. 8 and 3 is 11, yeah. So 7.5 hours, 7 hours, 20 minutes from now, they're going to, they do this live, you know, at 10:59 or 11 p.m. from, you know, Lottery Central, wherever the hell that is. And it's a $230 million jackpot. All right? That's what that 230 means. Good luck, because we don't have the numbers yet. We get them at 10:59 to about 11 p.m. All the numbers would have been pulled, including the Mega Million ball, which is the number that's in the brackets. I don't have the ability to type a ball, so I just put 2 brackets around it. And the other 5 numbers are numbers. None of the numbers are repeating, because once 66 is pulled, then there's 65 balls remaining. Every time you pull a ball out of there, you've got fewer balls that are bouncing around inside that machine thing. All right. What's this number? 105,100,000 is, let's go to the top. This is the jackpot lump sum before any taxes, which happens to be the net present value of the annuity. And the annuity is the present value of all the future cash flows. So what the hell is that? Well, here's the first payment. $3,461,830. I'm serious. That's calculated. So if you got if you have, which we have, if you got a $230 million lottery and you had an annuity that grew 5% a year, but I'm going to give you the first payment right now, and then you get 29 more payments. So your second payment comes a year from now. Okay? So now you get this. So if you elect the annuity option, you're going to walk off with a check or a deposit to your account. I don't know how they do it. For $3,461,000. On Tuesday, it was, the lottery estimate was smaller. It was a $215 million lottery. Well, it rolled over because no one won. So now it's 230, went up 15. The estimated jackpot today is 230 million. And no one wins. It's going to roll over to 247 million or 250 million. I don't know what it's going to, or 230, 230, 40, 50. Yeah, it could be 250, $250 million. Can you believe it? Well, anyway, at 230 million, it's not exactly chump change. Good luck on your numbers. There's a little carrot there in that column, pushing you to 105 million. Now, you don't walk out with that check because Uncle Sam is going to, remember, we're circling back to this, he's going to take his 24%. So that means you get 79 million. There it is. It's glory. 79 million. And then Uncle Sam is going to want another, 13 million in tax because, you pay 37% on that 105 million. And you pay it, 90 days later. So you're going to get 79 in your account, 79 million 8. Let's just say they credit your account. I'm just telling you how it works, folks. So you're actually going to get a $79 million check, but you're going to owe Uncle Sam, 13 million. Now, if you put 13 million in an account that's interest bearing, at 4% a year, 4.5% a year, that's going to give you another $250,000. Wish you can add in that word. So the interest on that would be $130,000. Can you imagine? 130,000. Yeah, that's $135,000. 709. So that's not exactly chump change. Just by putting that 13 million over in the side pocket for a few months, January, February, March, that money sitting in the side pocket, you leave it alone, that's 3 million something. The earnings is $153,000. Yeah. Now, the 66 million is the number that is going to be in your checkbook. Okay? It was 79, but you took 13 million and you put it over in the side pocket. It's going to accrue Now, if you elected to take the annuity, which, if you were 25 years old and you got lucky and you win this thing, you might think about the annuity. Now, in that case, you're going to end, if you take the annuity, you're going to get all $230 million 9 years and a day. The first day, you're going to walk out of there with a check for $3,461,000. That's that number we calculated. It's a fancy formula to get to that number. Ooh, it's a number that will knock your eyes out. But we don't need to know that. We just want to know that. We've covered the lottery business. Mega Millions. There's all kinds of stuff going on in Minneapolis. These people are nuts. They keep interfering with the ICE people that are riding around in communities all over the country, rounding up these illegal aliens, and we're deporting them, you know. It's expensive, but, you got to do it. It costs probably $20,000 per person to get them out. And numbnuts let in like 10 or 11 million aliens, which became illegal aliens because they don't have a basis for coming here. And so if they did come here legally, they would be stamped on their passport a 30-day visa. A visa says, you got permission to be here for 30 days. After 30 days, you got to go. You got to go home. As simple as that. Because you can't just hang out here and get our welfare, our health insurances, and our food and medical and all this stuff. You can't live off our society. You have to be self-sustaining. And you have to promise that you're going to go home after 30 days. And that's the kind of visa you get when you visit here for fun. Now, if you needed to be here 3 months for a business purpose, you would declare that, and they would stamp your papers, your passbook. Yeah. In Germany, they want to know. In Germany, they want to see your papers. Remember that? You watch all the, the war movies. When you, yeah. Well, the papers. Here's my papers. I have Maryland papers, and I got my papers. So my papers contains a passport. There's my papers. And an ICE agent or any agent can look at that and say, yep, looks like him. They look up there, they look down there, they look up there, and then they see the picture. You're a cranky bastard. Yeah, your papers. And then they stamp in the booklet here. They find a page, and it's not easy to get to. They find the first empty page they can come up to without skipping the page, because they should be in date order. So you know what? There we go. There's the first page after. That's a little discussion. What you do if you need to get to an embassy. If you're in Caracas, and all of a sudden you hear the bombs coming, you may want to get the hell out of there. So then you show everybody your papers, get back on the airplane, go home. Yeah, well, this is home. These are the papers that an agent would want to see. You're either U.S. citizen, so you either have one of these or you don't. Now, a lot of people don't have passports because they don't intend to travel. So what else you got is papers. You got a birth certificate, right? Show me your utility bills. You got electric bill. You got a, garbage collecting bill. What's in this little thing here? So this is, ancillary credit and debit cards. This is my to-go package right here. And what's in here? This is my wallet. It's a little, here it is, I'm sorry. It's a little bag. I gotta turn the lights up a little bit. There we go. It's a little bag. And inside my little bag, I'm getting you're learning all my little secrets here. Some people have a wallet. I don't have a wallet. I have a little bag. And inside my magic bag is number one, is my TD. This is my my Tesla. This is the key to the car. It's actually a credit card looking thing. No money in it. It just allows you to get in and out of the car. And on the back of it, inside this little package, is it's a passport card. The next card is my TD Bank card, which is the third card. Officer, here's my driver's license. So those three items go in this little bag. Now the Tesla key card is not necessary actually to open up the car every time I want to go drive, because I'm putting these things back in a little sack, and they're going to go nighty-night right in this little spot. Yeah, right in here somewhere. Yeah, right on top, right there. Oh, there's a $5 bill that's filled up. Of course, I don't need that little my Tesla key card anymore. Where are your papers? So this is what these guys show me an ID, which is, typically a driver's license or something. And they know, they have orders. They've gotten an order from a court, says go get this guy and deport him. The deportation papers that came from a court. And they dispatched an ICE agent to go get this guy and take him to the deportation place, where they schedule him into a flight and get him out of the country. You go back to where he came from. But these guys are hanging around being troublemakers. They're trying to get away. They're trying to get in front of the deportation people to make it, they're trying to get crowds of people to surround them and trying to interfere with them doing a deportation action against somebody that's living in the neighborhood right around the corner where these guys are hovering. This jackass has got a whistle. He keeps blowing a whistle. That could be a warning message to somebody to tell them, watch out. The ICE people are all over the place. Plus, it's an aggravating noise that just makes for commotion. These people are paid. He's paid $100 a day to stand there and blow a whistle. Can you imagine? This guy's he's got a whistle in his mouth too. So these people are all paid. They're paid agitators. And they're all tooting their whistles, creating a commotion to interfere with ICE agents that are dispatched to this particular neighborhood to go pick up somebody and deport them. And it's getting to be, and then at nighttime, these guys are, have fireworks, and they're aiming fireworks at the deportation people. That can hurt. Those things blow up, and there's sparkle things, and they could get in your eyes and whatever. I mean, it's dangerous, and they have enough ICE agents now where they see somebody that did something like that, they'll go run, because then these guys run. They'll aim something at them, they'll throw a rock or whatever, and then they'll run. And there's a constant source of these agitators that create a commotion, throw a frozen bottle of urine on them. It's disgusting what these scumbags are doing to interfere with our deportation process up there in Minnesota, Minneapolis. Yeah. We built a couple of shopping centers in Minneapolis. All right, what kind of a... Let's go back. This is a collection of favorites, yeah, okay. Anyway, so Kathy Woods sold her Tesla stock. I told you why. And there's all kinds of reasons why, but she cashed out at the $450, $60 level because the stock ain't going anywhere, because it's going to take a long time before they're going to show some real earnings results of the robotaxi business. It takes a long time to go through the regulatory approval process in each municipality. It's not actually a federal thing, although the federal is paving the way because they're trying to pass bills right now that will affect these people and make it easier for them to deport who they're trying to deport. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the deportation. That's why I had that picture there. This right here is the, if you're 65 or older, all of a sudden Social Security comes in to your world of influence. You can elect to be paid your Social Security checks. I would suggest you get paid. Yeah. Get payment before it runs out of money. Yeah. How seniors can boost their tax refunds with the new deductions for 2025 and 2026. The withholding is going to be a lot less because no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security. Well, the good news is no tax until it reaches a certain level, and then they start taxing, which is dirty pool, if you will. There we go. All right, what's this? All right, this has to do with aspartame. It's added to cereals. It's added to diet drinks and so forth. So we're tracking this through your digestive system. And what happens with your digestive system and your pancreas and the creation of your insulin. Anyway, so if you track this all through, your production of insulin comes across here, and certain things get secreted, and you have vascular issues, and monocytes and lymphocytes. And it creates lesions and arteriosclerosis, plaque, and CHD, which doesn't sound good. Yeah, chronic, health disorder, like heart attacks and so forth. So that's why you don't want to use aspartame. maybe just safer for you to drink your Coca-Cola and regular Coca-Cola than getting the Diet Coke, because they're going to use aspartame and some other sweeteners, and they may, they need to check that out to see if there's adverse risk. That's what this story is all about. Yeah. Artificial sweeteners were supposed to make sugar foods and beverages healthier. But today, some of those most popular zero-calorie substitutes are raising new concerns. What are the concerns? The concerns that I just showed you. Carcinogenic activity, the closing of the arteries themselves. The natural sugar that pumps through your system. So, artificial sweeteners. We're supposed to make sugar foods and beverages healthier. I don't think so. So here's a little teaspoon of sugar, and they're kind of like saying all natural sugar is called, so they've come up with a natural sugar called tagatose. Tagatose, tagatose. Not only does it taste 92% as sweet as regular sucrose, and it packs only around a third of the calories. I'm going to touch tagatose and look it up. And it just went through a whole bunch of whatever. The medical, let's do Webster's Medical Dictionary of tagatose. It's a noun. It's a crystalline substance. The formula is CH6C6H12O6. Okay. It's naturally found in the D form as tagatose. Interesting, huh? Amazing. All right, let's go back to where we were. The touchscreen is... The problem with touchscreen is if your knuckles or something touch something else, whoosh, you go somewhere else. So you have to be able to get back to where you were. Tagatose. I don't want to see that. I want to see tagatose. So I'm going to touch that. And it says look up. You see that? Copy, select, something with AI there. It's got a little petri dish. I just want to look it up, like we've always done. I'm going to hit the second one now. Tagatose. There we go. Tells you all about it. In the D form, as in gum from West Africa. C, all right, various, also obtainable from Look it up. There it is. Now let's carefully page down. Oh, there's some things. I bought this this is an advertisement. I bought this little kitty water fountain. The cats like it. It took a couple of days to get used to it, but they drink a lot more water with it than without it. Oh, gosh, I think I touched a button. There we go. I guess that's it. The rest is advertisement. C6H12O6 crystalline keto hexose. Keto hexose. Crystalline keto hexose sugar. Found naturally in the D form, as in gum from West Africa. And that gum from South Africa. Bet you didn't know that, huh? There you go. Oh, now you do. So we may start to see beverages and things with tagatose instead of aspartame. And that's what he's trying to do is produce healthier foods, because we're killing ourselves with all these chemicals that aren't good for you. They're supposed to be helpful, but they're not. All right, this lady got ripped out of her car because she was driving into them, and they grabbed her by the back of the neck and yanked her right out of the car. These guys are strong. And you get all kinds of people standing around with video this and video that. I'd push them on their ass too. You know, just walk right into them. And if they don't get out of the way, cuff them and make them go through the process. And 3 days later, they'll get spit out the back door of some federal facility instead of getting released right out into the public again. Since they're a sanctuary city, which is a big joke. Okay, according to immigration officers, released by the woman on Thursday after a video after her arrest drew millions of views on social media. According to 9 to 5 Mac, which is a digital, news company, if you will, news organization, a fellow by the name of Pooh predicts a 4% drop in worldwide smartphone shipments next year because of, the fact that some of this stuff is going to cost more. And Apple, however, is expected to buck the trend, with iPhone shipments projected to reach the 250 million unit range in 2026, a 2% increase over 2005. That's what Android There we go. All right, Minnesota shows what happens when governing and content creation merge. Yeah, they all get locked up because they're interfering with their actions to pick up some of these bad guys. Never before seen footage of uncontacted Amazonian tribe. There she is. She got dragged right out of the car. Yeah. Because she's getting in the way. Now she's going to get arrested, and she's going to have to go through the federal process. And they may release her, but it's going to cost her a couple of days. She won't be going home. You know, this sweet little lady with 9 kids will get out of the goddamn street and stop blocking the ICE people. You know, I mean, this is... that's what they do. They've recruited a whole bunch of these goddamn women that are getting in the way. They're paying them. You know, they get paid, you know, to get in the way of ICE without hurting anybody. And unfortunately, they almost ran over an officer yesterday. He got injured, took him to the hospital. He's got some kind of a injury. Which the mayor seems to think is baloney. You think the hospital is making this stuff up? I don't think so. But the mayor, he's a medical doctor too. No, he's not. Oh, shut up. Has ICE agent training been reduced 47 days? The answer is yes. C. Weaver said, home ownership is white supremacy. I guess I don't know whether it's white or not, but it certainly is supremacy because you have an asset that a lot of people don't. So that makes you supreme, so to speak. But there are a lot of people that have homes. But when you got a bus full of immigrants, you being an illegal immigrant, Greenland, that's a mess. European Union has sent troops to Greenland. Oh, great. So now we got NATO troops in Greenland, and Trump is sending his troops to Greenland. European troops arrive in Greenland. There they are. They're arriving. Well, so is American troops. There you go. Good luck. $230 million. That's a lot of money. Is anybody going to win that? Well, I guess it's possible. You got a $290 million to 1 shot of winning it. Or you got a $289,999 that you're not going to win it. Yeah. That's more like it. I'll tell you what, this former presidential candidate Marco Rubio, who is Secretary of State now in the Trump administration. That's a serious position, and he's doing a serious good job. Because some of the prettiest towns in the country in Europe. The 10 most beautiful cities in the world. This is not one of them. This is Venezuela, one of the oil pumps that's sitting there, pumping out the crude. Goes into a container, and then the container looks like there's a bunch of valves and so forth. So that's connected to some kind of a pipeline, and all that pumping goes to a central location, which then gets loaded on ships or retained in Venezuela to their refineries, where they can break down the crude oil into, hydrocarbons like isooctane, aka gasoline. Yeah, it's a mixture of aromatic hydrocarbons that right around that 18 million to 20 million, these characters are out there in the magnitude side. Apple Watch, I have my Apple Watch on, and I can show you exactly how that works. There's that heart. You just touch that wheel right there, and see, there you go. There's my pulse. You can see it right there in living color. Yep, there it is. I like my pulses better than what I see on that screen. You hold your finger ready for about 30 seconds. Exactly 30 seconds, actually. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Phew. And it gives me a message. Sinus rhythm. And then that app just told me that immediately my pulse was 71 beats per minute. And it says, how do you feel? I feel fine. Phew, done. That's what that's all about. But my pulse looks better than that one. That looks the P wave looks a little weird because it's not supposed to go below the line that much. There's something wrong with that. The cardiologist will look at that and say, okay, we need to give you a beta blocker or something. Alpha blocker, beta blocker. We need to do something with that because that ain't right. We'll talk about that another day. Anyway, I've been yakking around here now in 45 minutes. It's time to stop this mid-afternoon, after lunch, little coffee. I am out of tea. My tea is now room temperature, and need to rinse it out and put it's Friday afternoon. Maybe I'll have a cocktail in celebration of my Mega Millions ticket in there, hermetically sealed in that envelope. Just kidding. Okay. you all have a good afternoon. In the proper condition to receive Marilyn as she gets home from work. Well, she probably won't be home from work for about another hour because let's see where she is. I can look her up right here because I have the Tesla app on my iPad. This iPad has actually been registered as a key. If I carry this iPad, the car will automatically unlock and prepare itself to drive somewhere. Yep. It'll either recognize my watch, recognize this iPad, or my phone. Your phone is your key. Your phone is your key. But my iPad could also be the key. And where is the car? It's at 2300 Glades Road. And where is it exactly? It's parked right there in the parking lot. And there's the building. So she's in her favorite parking place. See Seacoast Bank? That's where she works. And U.S. Gold buyers. Yeah, I'll bet you are. And her car is right there. See if she went to probably her Rotary luncheon. I have my numbers right there. This is the tracking. This is the actual spreadsheet right there. This is the actual spreadsheet. And I wanted to make that a little bit bigger. The good luck. There we go. So now we have, so now good luck is a little bit bigger in that block, that space. We'll keep copying it down, assuming no one wins Friday, tonight. I'm going to try to have the live broadcast on this iPad over here, so we can actually see the numbers flopping up on that. And that is, I can have that with one of these wires. I can connect it to my system and show it on the panel here. Yeah. Let's see if this wire is actually a hot wire that goes into my system. Let's take a look here. Start 8777. Which one is that? Oh, that's this one. Now, we have this one, which is, that's that camera. That's that one. I don't know what this is connected to. It doesn't appear to be connected to my system. I know this one is. So we can capture this wire and put it right in here. We need to get ready. Whoops. Sorry, folks. There we go. And if I can find my cursor, I can't find it. Did it come up? We have a little miniature one over there. These iPads get my cursor. Everything on it. All right, folks. We're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna say bye-bye. Have a great afternoon. Maybe I'll come back on tonight at about 10:40.